other Hashira, delivering news of Rengoku's death and Akaza's escape. When Master Kaguya learns what happened, he states that he is not saddened by this news, but that he only feels pride for what his children were able to accomplish, and looks forward to joining Rengoku in the afterlife soon. I'm not crying. Season 2, Episode 1. Sound Hashira Tengen Uzui. Season 2 kicks off with a special hour-long episode. A couple discusses their adopted son, Toshikuni, a kind and intelligent boy with an allergy to sunlight. Inside his room, Toshikuni is researching a plant called the blue spider lily when he gets a visit from Akaza. It turns out this boy is actually Muzan in disguise, and the guy's got a whole bunch of different identities he's living out all at once. He's a father, a son to this couple, and he commands a demon army. Guess this guy's true power is multitasking. Akaza reports on what happened at the Mugen train. Instead of getting a little head rub for taking out a freaking Hashira, the demon lord belittles Akaza for only being able to kill a single human. Ouch. To make matters worse, Akaza can't help but remember how Tanjiro called him a coward as he ran away. Bro looks pissed. I guess he does give a damn about name-calling. Anyway, the boys are supposed to be back in the Butterfly Mansion to recover, but Tanjiro has a mission to carry out against Doctor's orders. He travels to Rengoku's home and meets his younger brother Senjudo. He says he has messages to deliver, but Rengoku's crappy dad Shinjudo is drunk and says he is uninterested in hearing a worthless message from a talentless loser son that got himself killed. Okay, hear me out. The only explanation for a father being this awful is that he must secretly be a demon. Like, for real. Anywho, when deadbeat dad sees Tanjiro's earrings, he gets even angrier and reveals that Hinokami Kagura is actually a breathing form called sun breathing, the original and most powerful form that all other forms descended from. Tanjiro has had enough of this guy and charges him. But this is the former flame Hashira he's up against, and we know there's only one move that works against a Hashira, a swift headbutt. Later, Shinjiro has staggered off to find more booze, and Tanjiro delivers his message to Senjudo. The little bro is grateful to Tanjiro and gives him a notebook that has more information on sun breathing and the Hinokami Kagura. But when they open it, they find that Shinjudo has ripped out all the pages. Senjudo promises he will try his best to restore the book and gifts Tanjiro with Rengoku's flame-shaped sword guard. Then we see Shinjudo in the backyard and the guy is sobbing over the death of his son. Okay, it's nice to see he does actually care. As he's walking back to the Butterfly Mansion, Tanjiro runs into the very last guy he wants to see, his swordsmith, Haganezuka. The guy is furious that Tanjiro has lost yet another sword, and it seems to have destroyed what little sanity Haganezuka has left. He chases Tanjiro around with a knife for an entire day. This guy is an actual nutjob in case you were wondering. For 4 months, the boys continue to train and go on missions, and they even reach a point where Zenitsu allegedly stopped complaining about having to go on solo missions. I'll believe it when I see it. One day, as he is returning from a mission, Tanjiro sees the sound Hashira Tengen Uzui, and he appears to be kidnapping the caretaker Miss Aoi and the helper girl Naho. The other girls beg for Tengen to release them, and he is stopped by Kanao. Tanjiro runs forward, excited to check another Hashira off his headbutt bucket list. But Mr. Flashy here is a former shinobi and he vanishes in a split second. Tengen says he needs female corps members for an undercover mission, but Tanjiro offers to have him and his boys take their place. Tengen agrees and he sets out with our trio for Japan's flashiest, shiniest demon hotspot, the Entertainment District. Episode 2, Infiltrating the Entertainment District. Welcome to the Entertainment District, boys and girls. Of course, in this case, the word entertainment is code for gambling and work. Damn, I was hoping for arcades and karaoke. Inosuke is completely overwhelmed by the amount of people, and Zenitsu is overwhelmed by, well, you can already guess. Tengen tells the boys they're here to try and track down his 3 wives who went missing while investigating disappearances in the district. Yeah, You heard that right. The super flashy Tengen naturally has to have 3 hot ninja wives. In order to find them, the boys are gonna have to go undercover as the new girls in 3 different entertainment houses. Kinda nervous about what this will mean for Zenitsu's development, to be honest. Tanjiro managed to get hired at one house due to being so obedient and hardworking. Inosuke gets hired at another because he's genuinely just beautiful, and Zenitsu gets a job at the last one because he's actually really good at playing the shamisen. I think bro should stick to music instead of being a demon slayer. Oh, well. If you take her, you can have her clean the toilets or do whatever you want, really. Hell, you don't even have to pay. Just take her. While doing some chores, Tanjiro overhears some other girls talking about how their house's headmistress, called the Oiron, recently died from falling out a window. Suma, one of Tengen's wives, disappeared from the house not long after. Tanjiro tries to tell the girls that Suma is his older sister to get more information, but he's such an honest guy that it is physically impossible for him to lie. On the district rooftops, Tengen surveys the area. He remarks that if a demon is able to hide for this long from a Hashira, it is likely an upper-rank Kizuki. We then see somewhere in the district, another one of Tengen's wives, Makio, is tied up by long pink sashes, and she's being interrogated by a demon. Episode 3. What are you? Inosuke learns that Makio also disappeared recently from the house he's working in, and so he decides to investigate her room. He notices a breeze in the room despite the windows being closed, and detects a demon in the attic above. The demon flees through the passageways of the house, and since Inosuke is more used to wearing pants no shirt instead of robe no pants, his senses are dulled and the demon gets away. At least, that's the excuse he uses. Zenitsu hears a young girl crying and enters her room to check on her. A woman wearing a pink sash appears behind him, and Zenitsu is immediately aware that this woman is actually an incredibly powerful demon. She's the new Oiron of this house, and she's not the friendly cookie baking kind. She grabs the young girl's ear and demands she starts cleaning. When Zenitsu grabs the Oiron's wrist, "Start cleaning, breath. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Oiron. I'll clean it all up. Just please let go." Then, we jump back a few days earlier to see this demon getting a visit from Muzan. He addresses her as Daki, the number 6 ranked Kizuki, and commends her on eating so many people, including 7 Hashira. Daki can control the fabric of her sash at will and use it to smash, strangle, or absorb anyone in her way. Damn, this is the first time we've seen Muzan actually compliment a demon. I'm not so sure Zenitsu is ready for this smoke. Sure enough, our blondie boy gets hurled right through the wall, and the way he lands to minimize damage tips Daki off that he's a demon slayer. Oh no. Episode 4, Tonight. Tanjiro and Inosuke meet up with Tengen, who let them know that Zenitsu has gone missing. He tells them the mission has gotten too dangerous for low-level slayers like them and they should go home. Of course, the one slayer who would actually listen to that advice just disappeared. Inosuke tells Tanjiro about his encounter with the demon, and they plan to search Inosuke's house together that night. Tanjiro is running across the rooftops when he smells some demon stench. He enters a house to see Daki absorbing a woman into her sash. He demands Daki let the woman go, but she swats him away easily. "I'm too late. But what's going on? I can't see Miss Koinatsu's body. She's not bleeding." The strap on Nezuko's box snaps, and Tanjiro is forced to set it down on the rooftop. He uses Water Breathing's 4th form to slice the sash and separate the section with the woman inside. Daki is quite impressed and compliments Tanjiro's beautiful eyes. Tanjiro raises his blade and prepares to fight an upper-rank Kizuki alone. Whew, good luck, kid. Episode 5. Things are gonna get real flashy. Tengen has found one of his wives, Hinatsudu, also bound in Daki's sash. She alerts him to Daki's identity and apologizes for not being stronger. But he tells Wifey that he's very proud of her and she could escape the district as soon as she can. Tengen uses his super hearing to find Daki's underground lair. Daki points out that Tanjiro's brand new sword is already super chipped, and he curses himself for not being more adept with water breathing. Sun breathing feels much more natural to him. but the toll it puts on Tanjiro's body is Still, in this situation, he doesn't have much of a choice, and so he uses a breathing technique to raise his body temperature before striking with Hinokami Kagura Raging Sun. Daki sends her sash right through Tanjiro's throat, but apparently Bro has learned some ninjutsu or something, because it's just a decoy. The real goal is to strike from behind. He sees the opening threat, but Daki is still way faster and swats him away again. Over in Inosuke's house, he's rampaging through the walls and floors looking for any trace of demons. He finds a tunnel that leads right to Daki's lair, an enormous cavern/pantry filled with victims trapped in her belt that Daki can consume whenever she gets hungry. The whole leading straight to the demon's lair. Among them are Makio, Suma, and our boy Zenitsu. Inosuke frees the two women when suddenly Daki's sash, which is apparently fully sentient, starts attacking him. The sash starts yapping that since it isn't part of Daki's main body, there's no way Inosuke can put it down for good. It's about to start devouring some of the humans to gain strength, but the humans are protected by Suma and Makio. Makio is a brash, fearless fighter, while Suma is more of a neurotic and cowardly sort. Now, where have we seen this dynamic before? A sleeping Zenitsu then frees most of the victims with a single thunderclap and flash. That's what I've been saying. Next, Tengen enters the lair from above and slices up the remaining sash. He lands very flashily and apologizes to his wives for being late. After that, Makio gets a brief flashback. As Kunoichi, Makio and the others were trained to always put their mission above their own lives. When they were taken in by Tengen, he gave them a new flashy set of rules to live by. They are to always put their own lives before anything else and leave most of the dangerous stuff up to him. Not sure flashy is the word I'd use to describe this rule, but you can't blame a guy for wanting to protect his wives. But if I'm being completely honest, I'll always prioritize you three, so don't you die on me. He can't be serious right now. Tengen does a cool blade spin and announces from here on, things are gonna get real flashy. And I still don't know what he's talking about. As the fight goes on, Daki summons all her split-off pieces of sash from around the district and absorbs them into her body, making her way stronger. And unfortunately for Tanjiro, they're not fighting in the middle of nowhere this time. All the commotion has started to bring people out of their houses. With a single blow, Daki demolishes an entire block of houses, and Tanjiro can only look on horrified at the death and destruction around him. He starts to seethe with immense rage, and his eyes become bloodshot. Are we about to see Berserker Tanjiro? We then hear a letter that Tanjiro received from Rengoku's dad a few days earlier. He apologized for the way he acted and told Tanjiro that the mark on his forehead is something that only those chosen to wield sun-breathing are born with. But Tanjiro's a little confused because he wasn't born with that mark. It was a childhood injury that he got protecting his younger brother when boiling water spilled on them. His father was born with that same mark, but Tanjiro believes he himself must not be a chosen user of sun-breathing. Dog, you have the mark and you've already been using sun-breathing. Just take the win. Daki wants to go find a Hashira since she thinks Tanjiro isn't even worth her time. But Rage Mode Tanjiro gives chase. She uses her Blood Demon Art 8-layered Obi Slash, a wide-range sash attack that Tanjiro can't dodge. He responds with Hinokami Kagura Burning Bones Summer Sun and slices through each sash with ease. Daki is shocked to realize that she is actually starting to feel fear when facing this boy. Don't you feel any pain? Are you human? Tanjiro slashes her neck, but she turns it into fabric that is too soft and loose to slice through. So he does it again, faster this time, and he's actually about to behead Daki when he sees a vision of his younger sister begging him to take a breath. Tanjiro suddenly collapses on the ground, realizing he pushed his body way beyond its limits. Daki goes to finish him off but gets a kick from Nezuko. Daki slices her in half with the sash, But now it's little sister's turn to go berserk. Her regeneration speed increases to the level of an upper-rank Kizuki. She grows larger and chomps right through that bamboo muzzle. Nezuko drives Daki into the ground with a mighty kick. You won't like Nezuko when she's angry. Episode 7, Transformation. Nezuko is taking glee in her torment of Daki, stomping on the demon again and again. Tanjiro hears the voice of his dead younger brother telling him to stop Nezuko before she goes too far. She's kicking so much ass, I'd say she can go on a little longer. Oh, or maybe not. She stopped it with her severed limbs. Her coagulated blood is keeping them connected. Nezuko kicks Daki through a house and then lunges toward an innocent human. Tanjiro grabs her just in time, but is spending all his strength on restraining Nezuko while Daki prepares her next attack. Then, Tengen appears and we're finally gonna see just what he's capable of. He tells Daki that she isn't the demon he's been searching for, and decapitates her in a split second. I mean, holy shit, that was way quicker than expected. Anyway, Tanjiro sings a lullaby to calm Nezuko down and she goes right to sleep. Not the best timing, because this fight is far from over, and right on cue, a sickly-looking demon climbs out of Daki's severed neck and carries her to safety, faster than Tengen can react. Daki starts sobbing and asks this new demon, who happens to be her older brother Gyutaro, to slaughter all the humans that hurt her. Gyutaro is insanely jealous of the flashy, handsome Tengen and uses his blood demon flying blood sickles to send out razor-thin waves of blood. Tengen throws out bombs to escape and gets the rest of the civilians to safety. Then, Inosuke and Zenitsu finally arrive, and they all face off with the two upper-ranked demon siblings. Honestly, fingers crossed Zenitsu goes to sleep for this one. Episode 8, Gathering. Now, here's a small fact. Gyutaro's blades are coated in a deadly poison, and just the smallest scratch is needed to infect Tengen. Tengen's shinobi training supposedly made him immune to all poisons, but Gyutaro's is so strong that it's starting to have an effect. Tengen figures out that the only way to defeat these two is beheading them simultaneously. But even with his secret out, Gyutaro seems unfazed. After all, he's apparently killed 15 Hashira before this. Master Kaguya was right though. His current crop of Hashira is just built different. While Makio and Suma evacuate as many people from the district as they can, Inosuke and Zenitsu take on Daki, leaving the stronger demon to Tengen and Tanjiro. At first, Tanjiro is just deflecting the slashes coming his way, but he soon remembers his humble water-breathing roots. He uses flowing spin moves to redirect attacks and play defense for Tengen. Then, Hinatsuru appears on a rooftop and launches her secret weapon at Gyutaro, a kunai volley crossbow. The demon realizes they wouldn't launch such a weak attack unless the kunai were laced with something. So, he attempts to block them all. Tengen distracts Gyutaro just enough for a single kunai to hit his neck, and a wisteria poison is able to halt his regeneration. Tanjiro sees the perfect opportunity to close in for a finishing blow. Episode 9, Defeating an Upper-Rank Demon. In a flashback, Tengen and his wives pray at his family's grave. Tengen was raised by a merciless shinobi father, and 7 of his 9 siblings were dead by the time he was 15. This is why he tries to live his life in the flashiest, most decadent way possible, and encourages his loved ones to value their lives above all else. After praying, he enjoyed a delicious picnic with his 3 gorgeous ninja wives. Okay, whatever. Now back to the fight. Gyutaro is able to neutralize the poison just like that, and he forces the 2 demon slayers away with his blood demon art, rotating circular slashes, flying blood sickles. I'm sorry, but these attack names just kill me sometimes. Sound freaky. Fourth form. Constant resounding slashes. General. Anyway, Gyutaro then bolts up to the rooftop and grabs Hinatsuru by the throat. which of course causes Tengen to recall another memory of watching the sunset with his 3 ninja wives. Back then, Hinatsudu asked if they can all retire from the Demon Slayer Corps once Tengen defeats an upper rank. Don't tell me she was just 1 day away from her pension. We then see Tanjiro, who is severely injured, but he refuses to let another person get hurt in front of him. He tries a Hinokami Kaguda move, but he just doesn't have the stamina left for it. So he gets a little creative and combines water breathing with sun breathing to boost his movement ability while retaining his burning slashes. He slices off Gyutaro's arms and saves Hinatsudu. Well, if it's just as easy as breathing 2 different ways at once, why didn't you do it earlier? Inosuke sees that Tengen is getting closer to decapitating Gyutaro, but he and Zenitsu aren't making much progress on their end. Tanjiro joins the 2 of them,